Welcome back, players and collectors, to my channel, Ren's Collectibles. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well, because we're going to be talking about 5 ways to be playing Lorcana now that Pixelborn has been shut down. If you didn't know what Pixelborn is, or if you've been playing Pixelborn but haven't been keeping up with the news, Pixelborn was a fan-made program that was basically a digital game client for Lorcana. You could download it on your PC, on your phone. It created a large access to a lot of people to play Lorcana. However, that has been officially shut down now because Disney decided to cancel it. And I get it. There's legal reasons for it, and a lot of the fan base is against it, but I understand that there are legal reasons for it. Now, that being said, I think it hurts the community a little bit, and a lot of people are kind of reeling from this news and this decision, but now the game client is officially shut down. Pixelborn is no longer, and we as a community must find a way forward, and I'm hopefully going to give you guys 5 options here that help you move forward in playing Lorcana, because we don't want to see anybody leave, right? This game is awesome. We've built a great community here, and we just want to keep it going. So some of these are pretty obvious, some of them maybe not so much, but I'm hoping that at least somebody out there can have some of these helpful tips on how to be able to play Lorcana regarding any situation you may be in. So let's get into the breakdown. Let's start with our top 5 different ways to play Lorcana. The first way, the best way I should say, and the most obvious way is just go play in person. Find a local game store near you, or some kind of card shop or something, or just get with buddies. If you know you have a couple buddies or people around you that play Lorcana, get in touch with them and just do some meetups, and you guys can play Lorcana. Again, that's the most obvious answer, and the way the game is intended and designed to be played, and it is the best experience when playing Lorcana, in my opinion, in opinion of a lot of others, I believe, that playing in person is just unparalleled to anything else. However, I know not everybody can play in person, even myself included. There's some times where I don't have the ability or the time to go to my card shop to play, although I do try to make every effort I can every week to go and play, but sometimes that's not possible. So the next best way, in my opinion, is to play games through webcam. Now, there's tons of Discords out there that are setting up stuff for webcam tournaments, or just being able to play in game rooms within a Discord. Or if you have some friends you've made, online, or you just don't want to leave your house to play, then webcam is a really solid option there. It gets you that pseudo live feeling, like you're playing in real life, but you're also maybe having the convenience of staying home and not getting out, especially if it's, late at night, during elements, whatever the case and the reason is. I think webcam is another solid way to do it. And if you are on Discord at all, if you have a Discord, there's plenty of Discord channels out there that are hosting Tabletop Simulator games and tournaments to get into. Most card shops anymore have Discords where they do that. So if you have a local game store, they might already be doing it. The Pixelborn Discord, and then there's also another one called just the Lorcana Tabletop Simulator Discord. They're probably the biggest ones right now to join for for webcam games. I said the Lorcana Tabletop Simulator one. I meant there's one, I forgot the name of it, but they have a large webcam following. So that's another way to do it. The third best way, in my opinion, is Tabletop Simulator. It was one I kind of alluded to a little bit before, but Tabletop Simulator, for those of you who don't know, is a program that allows you to play pretty much any kind of tabletop game. And it's really useful, especially to indie trading card games or card games that don't have online digital clients. Kind of gives you that online feel, lets you play digitally. You don't have to own cards. You can pretty much make any deck you want and import them, so you can play pretty much without cost. The only downside is somebody has to be online and available to play, and you either have to match make with them in a third-party area like Discord, or just get lucky by doing a multiplayer search and finding somebody on there to just randomly hook up with for that game. The other thing is you generally want to have a microphone or some way to communicate with the other person, because not every tabletop simulator mod, although there is one that's really well made, we'll look at here in just a second, is that none of them have like automatic features built into it. Everything you have to do on your own, which is kind of the downside to it. And it is also not mobile, which is another big downside. But let's look into Tabletop Simulator real quick. I'll walk you through the officially non-official Lorcana Tabletop Simulator mod here, and we can showcase what it has. Okay, once you get into your Steam area, you go to the Tabletop Simulator Workshop. If you just go to Community, go to Tabletop Simulator, and then you click on Workshop tab up here, you can then search. There's a search bar somewhere about Lorcana, and this should be the first option that pops up, and you'll see Lorcana TCG scripted 1v1 table. This is the one you want to hit the subscribe button down here too. I'm not going to do it because I'm already subscribed, but you hit that and it'll download the mod itself for Tabletop Simulator. And I just wanted to show this so that way you guys make sure you're downloading the correct one. Although I guess there's not really an incorrect one. They're all fan made. They're all, unofficial. But I think this is the one that has the most people playing on it, and I think is generally the one people are going for. So make sure you download this one. All right, once you boot up Tabletop Simulator here, you're either going to create or join. Like I said, you can try joining a game here. When you initially just click on it, there's a whole list of things up on here. It'll tell you the game, who the host is, how many players, and which country. I mean, you could try just searching Lorcana and seeing if people are in there, which it looks like there are a couple, and you could try to join in. That is certainly one way you could do it. The best way, though, is to jump in, click multiplayer if you are creating one. Do whatever you want in here. I have this already preset. You can tell I play Nostalgics on here. You set up your table however you want. Or if you're just wanting to deck test or anything, you hit single player, and then you want to find the Lorcana mod. If your Lorcana mod is not up on here, you click on Workshop. You can find all your mods you've downloaded here, and then you find the Lorcana one, click and load. It will take up, a small chunk of time the first initial time you do load it in, but as you can see here, it's still kind of trying to load a little bit. You got a 2-player table set up here. You're going to be initially slotted in this one on the Tinkerbell side. If you are the second player joining, you will be on Rapunzel's side here. But it's really cool. This mod is honestly pretty neat. It's got a lot of automatic features in here that's kind of built in for you. However, the gameplay style is going to be dependent on you. It has all these different things, shows you the amount of cards in hand, your ink wells, so how many you have inked versus how many is available, all the different types of dice and counters you could have up here. You've got a lore tracker here for both of you. This is where your deck goes, your discard go. You can reset deck, you can draw your opening hand. Different buttons right here do different things. So look at the top card of your deck, look at the top two, and so on and so forth. So there's different buttons and options you can do here. Return top, return bottom. What was that? Put the top card of your deck into the inkwell face down. So there you go. It also has a button to ready your exerted cards, which is really nice. It makes it somewhat automated. I think it's about as automated as it can be, being Tabletop Simulator, but that's why I say this is a decent option to go. If you're looking for any way to get into the game or read rules, this is definitely the best way here. It's got the new card information for locations. It's very well made. You can see whoever made this put a lot of work and effort into this. It looks beautiful. But the thing is, it does not come with any kind of decks preloaded, so you're gonna have to use the deck loader ability. Now, I strongly encourage you use Dreamborn if you have not already. I've gone ahead and moved my Dreamborn web page, I guess, up over here. It's just dreamborn.inc is the website. I will try to link it in the description down below. Here you can do just about anything. You can search for all the newest popular decks, trending decks, decks with videos like YouTube's like this one. I have my own one deck in there, but you know, we're gonna just stick with this one. I clicked on trending and this was the first one to pop up. So basically all you're gonna do is copy the link at the very top there. You come into here. There is an option. Let me move this real quick. Boom. There we go. There's an option up here that looks like a little load sheet. You want to click that's the deck importer. And if you're using Dreamborn, you want to use this box right here. If you're going to use Inkborn, which is another option I'll get to momentarily, you're going to use this. If you use Lorcana, you're going to use this. I've never used Lorcana, so I don't know what it is. But Dreamborn, we do know. So we're going to go ahead, paste, and click Import Deck. It takes just a couple seconds, and it loads the deck on in there. And you can see here we have a 60 card deck. If you right click and hit search, you can see all the different cards in here. And I highly recommend you, the first time you're loading a deck in, you do load it up and look at the cards versus what the card list has here, just to ensure that the cards are correct. You don't want to get any kind of weird surprises in there, but you can see it had 3 of the Aurora Dreaming Guardian in there. And let's see, on here it has 3 of them. So there you go. That's pretty much all you need to do for this. Your opponent will have to do the same thing, but you know, you draw your opening hand, it puts them all down in here. Now, these, don't worry, your opponent cannot see these cards. They can see the backs of these cards. That is it. So if you were player number 2 over here, you would not be able to see the hands down here. It's just for you. And then there's a whole bunch of features you can do to like make your gameplay experience a little bit better on Tabletop Simulator. That's too much for this video. You guys should review Tabletop Simulator trading card games, hopeful hints or whatever. Maybe I'll make a video of that in the near future, but Tabletop Simulator is a good way to go about it. And I just kind of want to show you a little bit what's in here, and so you can kind of see what you're getting yourself into when you do this. The 4th best way to play Lorcana right now, it's not really a way to play against anybody, it's a way to play against a computer. It's a good way to deck test and kind of see how viable maybe some cards are in a deck, or just try decks out in general. If you're new to Lorcana, this is the way that I recommend you do it, just because it's easy to use, and it is Inktable, which is a web-based AI kind of computer-based game. It's different. It's different. But as you can see on here, this is Inktable. You have to put Inktable.net and then /Lorcana, I believe, is the handle for it. But the way this one works is you have a few different options here. Now, again, this is all against a computer. You're not playing real people here. So I usually just click Quick Match, and then you pick your decks. So you can add decks in here, which is great. Use Dreamborn, again, the link previously provided, to copy decks into here. Or you can do starter decks. It looks like they have all the different starter decks in here. You can pick them. I have my own deck here as player 1. So if I clicked on it, I can select as P1 or P2. And it depends. P1 will always go first. So if you wanted to try going second, you would select P2. Or if you're going to go first, select P1. And then for the computer, you select a different deck. I just did this deck, select P2. And then it asks you which one is the starting player. You're going to pick P1 or P2, whichever one you're on. It loads it up. It kind of dishes everything out for you. Like I said, this is a computer-based version of the game. So it's all automated for you. You don't have to do any of the think work on this. You just play the game like you normally would. Now, with that being said, there's no real difficulty like changes in here. You can't face an easy computer, an intermediate, or a hard computer. It's just the computer. So if you're new to the game, you could be loading in decks and just get absolutely wiped game after game after game if you don't know how to play already. And it's not really a good way to learn the game per se. You need to learn how to, in my opinion, you need to learn how to play the game and get a general understanding of it before hopping into this. Although this will teach you mechanics and things you can and cannot do in here, this is not a perfect system, which is why it's number 4 and not higher. If you're used to card games and used to playing stuff, then this would be a good option. But you know, it kind of automates things for you, which is really good. So here's your starting hand. Let's say you want to mulligan some cards. You can go ahead, select some. Let's select one of these Robin's Bows, for example, and maybe this. You can mulligan those cards, hit done. It'll put them back and automatically redraw your next 2 cards. Now you have this option down here where you can ink a card or pass. So you can't like click and drag. You have to click the command you want. So you want to ink something. You click that. Let's say we're going to ink Don Carnage here. Now it puts it down here, shows you 1 of 1 in your inkwell. You can play a card or pass. You want to click on Robin Hood. It exerts the ink for you automatically. It goes ahead and puts Robin Hood up here. It's grayed out because it has to have that. They call it the drying of the ink. It's basically like you're asleep for the turn. You can't do anything. You just played it, so you can't do anything. But it's not exerted. And then when you're done, you just hit pass. It goes to the computer's turn, and then they kind of just automatically do everything they want to do. They inked a card. They're thinking they have no cards to play, so then they pass to us. So you can kind of see how this is running right here, which is useful and it's nice. Again, if you know how to play the game, this is a really good way to test the deck. You know, you can ink a card. Let's ink Thebes there. There's some things about this that I don't really like, and it's things like this Robin's Bow here. So it says deal 1 damage to chosen damaged character or location. If I were to play this and let's say my Robin Hood had damage on it and I accidentally click it, it will make me put damage on my Robin Hood. There's no going back. There's no canceling. There's nothing like that. Like, it forces you to either quit the game or deal damage to yourself here. Sometimes you want to deal damage to yourself, but a lot of times you don't, and this game gives you like no option. It's all or nothing. So if you make mistakes on here, you're gonna pay for them, which kind of sucks. But it's a good way to deck test, like I said. If that's your thing and you're trying to get ready to go to some challenges or something, this is a pretty good option to see how the card draws may go for you, how you can kind of synergize your deck, and get you general experience going. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than just playing face-to-face with people and playing real cards and decks, but this is a good option, which is why it's at number 4. The last and final option that I have available that I suggest for you to play if you have no other way to play, none of these other ways work for you, then I suggest doing something like the Illumineer's Quest. Now, this can be a single-player game or it can be multiplayer, depending on what you have available, who you have available. But this is a physical game that's kind of like an add-on for Lorcana. And again, has a single-player mode. It has multiplayer mode up to 4 players. And, you know, if you have nobody to play with, if you've got no LGS, no game store, you don't have computer access or anything like that, you can still play Lorcana just by battling yourself, you know. Place 2 decks together and see how you can do against them. Or you can do something like that Illumineer's Quest, which has a solo campaign option, and you can battle Ursula and see how easy or fun, you know, it can be. I haven't personally played it yet, but we are about to do that. I'm about to dive into it with my son, so we're going to see how it goes. But I've heard it is really, really good. It's got high reviews online, so those are your 5 ways to play Lorcana right now. Now that Pixelborn has pretty much shut down. And again, Pixelborn was a great tool and a great asset to the community and to Lorcana players. It's very, very sad that they've shut down. Very disheartening to see Disney do it. Again, understand the reasons why and all that. But for the community, this is a good way, 5 good ways to step forward and continue your Lorcana career. And hopefully this helped you. And again, if this video helped you in any way, make sure to hit the like button on it. Comment below what your favorite way to play is. And if there's another way out there that I've not mentioned or is not included in this video, make sure you put it down below so other people can see and play as well. But that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Hopefully you guys are able to continue your Lorcana quest, but we'll see you guys in the next